Alright, so the next thing let's take a peek at is putting on my center reach mount Probend CRM bark busters. So I've already pulled all the staples out. So I'll put this guy up. There's all my directions. In case you want to read these things. It's on the back. Alright. I've taken the staples out, so I can just pull that out now. And what's really cool and sexy about these, they're orange. Yay, more orange stuff. Typical of the bark buster stuff. These screws will probably just hold on the mud guards. Inside the kit, I'm going to have to go find my manual. Because the lever mounts, when I pull those things off, they have a little rubber boot that goes over them. So we're just kind of take a look at these things, and let me go find the rest of my parts. Okay, gang, here's the portfolio that comes with it when you buy a KTM bike. And inside this, that's a manual for the 500. Here's the manual for the 6-day. And toolkit. Looks like some sort of chain guard guide. And here's these parts. Now I was told that these little, when I take off the old guards and we go to this new system, we're going to put these on top of the clutch and the brake levers. So let's go do that first. So we're going to take these guys off, and hopefully everything doesn't explode on us. Now that happened to me once on my 500. I lost a little plunger on it. So let me get my tell you what, let's just for fun, let's actually use the toolkit that comes with this bike. See if we can do it just with everything I need to do with what's on here. They tossed in an extra spark plug. Since it's a two-stroke, I thought maybe I'd have some fouling problems, but they said I'd never need it. So that's kind of an unusual thing to happen. A two-stroke doesn't foul. I'm going to move this guy back up here, top this generator. Alright, be less noisy that way, because right now it's kind of in our face. So we need either a 10mm or a Torx, and it looks like there's a thread on the bottom. This one also same way. So let's see what the handy dandy little engineers at KTM have figured out for us. They got this little puppy. Oh, 7 and a 10. Okay, neither one of those fits. It's got to be an 8. So you got a 10 box end, open end. We have a 13 box end open end. A combination, looks like we got the inside is a 14, this outer part, that's a 21. Over here the inside appears to be a 27, and this part is a 32. So, oh, I see. This big one is a 21. This little flats here, that's a 14. That's a 17. And of course must be a tire wrench, but you ever try to change the tire with just one? That ain't gonna last very long. So let's put that away. Now inside of here we got a bunch of different sockets. How do they want me to bring this? Oops, here we go. So I think I'm looking for an 8. But these are the different parts. We actually have 2 sockets, three sockets. One is a 6, a 10. This most likely should be an 8. Yep, it's an 8. And then we got a flat blade screwdriver, we got a Phillips head, a cross head, and a Torx. Now, that Torx does not fit here. Alright, so they want us to use probably the 8mm socket. Where are you? That was a 6. There's a 10. That's another thing, a bitch I got about these guys is this part doesn't have a little ball on it, so it always wants to fall off. This part does have a ball and it'll retain the socket. So let me put these guys back in here. Put the lid back on. Back over here. Okay, that's coming across nice and easy. Oh, and it's held on by a tie wrap, so we'll have to cut that off there. So no matter what you do, don't let go of this screw. Get the tie wrap cut first. So let me find a pair of dikes. Hey Deacon, what's going on? Oh no, we're okay. You can stay there. These aren't the perfect pair. That one's small. Let's try these. Okay. Might as well do this one while we're at it. Don't cut your hydraulic cables. Alright, so I'm going to, bear with me, because I don't want this thing to come exploding on me like it did once before. I don't know where to put the camera that's going to give you the best shot. Let's try this. See if it'll stay put there. Okay, I like it. Alright, so for all intensive purposes, okay, I'm going to hold the brake lever in so the little plunger doesn't come ripping out at me like it did on my 500 when I first did this the first time, and I lost the spring and the little plunger. So now I'm going to put this right back in there. so it can't go anywhere. Alright, so now that I've got that, it's going to be interesting to see. See, there's a little standoff there, and it's sticking way down like that. Let's see if they have something that they're supplying that maybe I should be looking at instead. Now the couple of parts, you're wondering what these are. I had them add the mount for the steering stabilizer, Scott steering stabilizer with a BRP mount, and this gave me a 25mm rise because I'm kind of tall. Then they mounted this on the forward part of the bike to move the handlebars a little bit farther forward. So I didn't mention that earlier, and we'll mount that later. But that's why that when you put this mount on, I guess something changes over here. And I think, let's see, so that's, of course, I don't know why that is. Well, anyway, maybe it's an axle something or other. I know this mount, maybe that changed. Okay, so here's a I'm not too sure what we're doing here. One is really long. So the stuff that they gave me, maybe it's this one here. Let's try it out. Okay, I'm sliding this out. Put that one in. Now that seems to be the right length. So for now, let's pretend that that's on this side of things. That's what's supposed to be there. So it's got a one bolt, 8mm in the top, lock nut on the bottom. We'll tighten that up. But before I get too carried away, there's one of those little springs that you always want to lose. You don't want to lose them, but they just seem to go away all by themselves. Alright, still have these two parts. Okay, so this is the one we just took out. Let's put that over here. So the other two, I got this one and this one. I'll bet you it's the black one. Let's go take a peek. Hold on just a second. Now the directions on the here we go. Now we're doing the right side. And I'm suspecting, yep, it's got a larger diameter. Oops. Hold on there. Again, I want to hold on with both hands. It's loose, so I'm going to hold that in. See that size there? I'll take this guy off. Now of the two, put that in temporarily, right back where it came from. Now let's see where it wanted to go. I'm just doing a little sanity check. That one would work, but you know it's going to need a nut on it. So the black one is the one that comes with a nut. So I'm not too sure what this other puppy is for, but I very judiciously then slide this out without everything coming apart. There we go. That looks like about right distance. Here's a lock nut that goes on there. So that's part of the KTM kit, because they're expecting you to change the bark busters out if you don't like them. So let's see if we have enough tools. So this is the one that came out. There's another one here. I'm not too sure what that's all about. It looks awful close to the other one. But now we're going to need a 10. I think we're going to, well, hold on. Alright, it's an 8 on that side and an 8 on the bottom. So maybe this is why we have a 7. So let's go look before I get too carried away on the right hand side. No. No. So here's an 8, and 8 works there too. So they do not give you enough tools to do this, unless you want to use the pair of pliers. And in the field, I guess that's fine. But we don't want to do that, do we? I didn't think so. Let me go back over here. Go to the wrenches. You can either use an 8mm or a 5/16. They're pretty much equivalent. You know, just for grins, I'm going to pull this 10 out too. Where did we go? So you need a 10 socket and oh, hold it, they had a 10? No, it's an 8. I need an 8 wrench and an 8 socket. And I don't see where that's possible. Alright, so I got that side done. Let's walk back over here. We have our new guards, KTM guards. Save that, pick that over here. Nice and white. Probably the same ones that they've got on Husqvarna's, right? And this side is 10 and 10. And that part should be easy enough, because here's a 10 there. And didn't we say we had a 10 over there? So I do have two 10s. So let's go ahead and use these two pieces. So throw an 8mm box and wrench in your toolkit. Ooh, timber! Alright. So the right hand side, that we do have the right number of tools. I guess I could always grind the 7 out to 8. Okay. So that looked okay. I don't know why it's got this gap right there. See that right there? I didn't see a washer that needed to go anywhere. Alright, so now they've got these little boots. That go over the brake and the clutch. So I'm assuming the one with the logo is on the top. Let me think about this. Maybe I have them upside down. Or backwards. One of them things. Let's try this. Well, you know, they're Brembo. So they're designed for these stupid things. Okay, well, that actually... Alright, well, I guess I had the right one on the left one. I thought this little pointy thing was going to be going that way. Turns out it's going this way. It does fit over there. The little... see inside here, there's a little relief that pops into the groove. So that actually goes in there pretty good and gives a little bit of protection so you can adjust your brakes. Alright. Good, you won't have to struggle with it. You can see which one goes where now. Yay! Alright, Brembo decal on the top. This is the left. I don't see anything in here that says left or right. Do you? Part of the mold? No, let's mess with Mike's head. He's an engineer. He never reads directions. As if there was any directions at all. I don't know. Alright, so let's go do that. Well, here's kind of a problem. You see, I'm going to have to slide this over here, but they've got this new brake light and or excuse me, horn button. Oh dear, kind of in the way. Now, if Deacon ever rides with me on this bike, he's gonna put his paws over here and he'll be hitting my kill button and then honking the horn and all sorts of other craziness. So, but let me, for right now, just loosen that out this way a little bit. And that should give me enough space. See if I can do this one-handed while I'm holding on to the camera. So pull that over there. Got the little Brembo decal on the top of the bolt. Stuff it on under there a little bit more. And then that little guy, the back end has to be stretched so it'll pop onto that ridge. Yay. Well, almost like it was designed for it. Duh. Now I guess I can move this guy back down. And tighten it down. Okay. Now last time when I looked at this, on my 500, it actually said kill on this one. So the kill button actually, or the horn button actually said kill on it. And then here's the kill button. Of course, starter button's over here. Woo! I haven't started this yet. You know, so that's, I mean, I have like minimum gas. That's right here. So all this is kind of new. I get to destroy my bike before I even get to ride it. Alright, well, we've got that part done. Somewhat successfully, if not sporadically. Let's go see what the rest of the parts we need to do. Alright, now we're at to the part where we have to mount the crossbar mounts. What in the heck does that mean? Oh, so these are abrasion guards. They're right there. So mount the CRM bar clamp on lower portion of handlebar just to the outside of the triple clamp. That's these guys. So let's go do that. And that appears to be that doesn't work. A 13 doesn't work. So they did it again. Now we need a 12. Okay, so guys, you're going to need a 12mm too for this here clamp. And I don't think they gave us an Allen for that. So let's go back over here. Sorry for all the trips to the toolbox. No, looks like we need a 4mm Allen or hex wrench, and I happen to have some really spiffy ones right here. It's a ball end. Okay. Like that. Let's grab a ratchet for it. Okay, so throw a 4mm hex wrench in your kit. Trying to see if there's any identifiable markings on here, which one goes where. I'm assuming that oh, it beats the heck out of me, Roy. I'm going to say that the Allens are going to go toward me. This part is where the bar is going to connect to on the other side. Um, At least you know real time what it takes to mount these things. Shoot. Well, I'm wondering if it's tapered at all. I don't see a taper on it. So generally on my other bikes, this has gone something about like this. This has gone something about like that. I'll put a couple screws in there to hold it into place. Now, odds are I probably have it upside down, but let's go back and take a look. They're showing going to the top. Yeah. This little bolt, see that there. Well, let's keep going. Oh, well, here's a little better view. The bracket mounting bolt is to the top. Alright, on the clamps. Alright, let's keep going in this direction. Now these are genuine KTM Powerparts. The last set I put on were the Enduro Engineering brand, but with the KTM Powerparts logo. These are a whole lot sexier because the bar is orange. Alright, keep on going. Have patience with me. Go grab a bourbon or something and sit and watch this thing while I'm doing that. I'm just repetitive. I could cut this out and go zoom right ahead to the next one, but it's not my way. I want to bore you guys to tears. You used to go zip zap, do this, do that, and then you don't really see if I run into any troubles. You got the problem with a lot of these videos, they just do a 1 hour job in a couple of minutes. See, wasn't that easy? You go, oh yeah, cool, let me overhaul my engine. Like most clamps, I'll want to make sure that I've got the same gap on the bottom as I do on the top as I get close to when we actually tighten them down. Alright, so for now I've got these bolts are on the top. Let's see what we do next. They're kind of sexy black, aren't they? 6 days. Cool. And on the 7th day you rusted. So this is going to be pretty cool stuff. And I'm not too sure which one we're going to go with. If it goes to the top or the bottom. Let's see what they say. Okay, so the Sycra that's on there, that should go to the, that'll be up. So this particular, let's see if I can stuff this in here. Camera. Hello. Okay, we need a 13 millimeter. I love these gear wrenches. You get them at Napa. This one at the time, gosh, it must have been 10 years ago, was made in Taiwan. But they're our friends. I wouldn't get the ones made in China. Oh, didn't I say those were 12s? Yeah. 12. In fact, what I would do, I would just get a whole set of these, of the 8, the 10, the 12, and the 13, maybe even a 14, and put those in your kit. But then you got to carry that sucker, right? And this particular 6-day is you don't want to be carrying around too much. The whole idea is to be out there having fun. The only reason I'm mounting this on there is just give myself some inspiration for the next step, because now we get to destroy a hand grip. Alright, let me pause this. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Got this X-Acto knife, and we have to cut the end of the grip off. The left side is easier than the right side because we because it doesn't move, right? But on the throttle side, you got the throttle you have to worry about, so you can't be binding it up. So practice on the left first. See what you can do without cutting yourself all the smithereens. I just had a bunch of guys drop in. Came over to see the bike, but I'm a little bit behind, and I'm freezing because it's really cold out there. It's there you go. Got a little black thing in there. So basically what we're doing, we're clearing out the inside of this, of the handlebar. Hold on, I gotta put my specs back on. There's like I've cut through a little piece of plastic or something that I'm not expecting. Maybe it's adhesive. Yeah, it's like some sort of adhesive in there. Okay. I say this side is not that critical. You can kind of make a mess of it. But now you go over here, and we've got these guys. So one of these, depending on the inside diameter, will work with the other one, or will be the one you want. So let's see what they got. Use X-Acto knife and that's not it. Okay, so these are the ones we want. I'll put this back here. You know, I've got this spacer, and I'm kind of wondering if that's supposed to go over there, or if you can't get around the existing parts. But let's take a look. Okay, so this is a little expansion. When you tighten this up, it takes a serrated part. It's like a little collet you'd see on a milling machine and a lathe. But oh man, keep beating up my motorcycle. So basically, stick it on like that, just to get it started. And I'm going to take this screw off this side. And we put this in through here like that. Then I go through and tighten that one on. Well, you see the angle I've got right here? This is pretty square. So I'll bet you that's what these guys are going to be for. Different strokes for different folks. Let's see if that fits any better. Sorry, Deacon. Such a nice chromy looking bolto, you know. Put the long bolt through there. Got the spacer. Now we put this on. Still a little tight. See how it's like a little bit of an angle there? So the handlebar, this guy's got to come back this way some. Where was that ball end tool? All my parts were exploding everywhere. Got interrupted by my neighbors. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's loosen this up a little bit. See if that helps make things. So do we get it? Whoops. Alright, you notice, okay, so here's another tool we're going to need. Alright, so I'm not too sure what that is. This looks like a 6mm. So I'm going to get this one going just a little bit. Guess I got to get it where it starts expanding. There we go. Now I'll try to figure out where this is supposed to go. Yep, I definitely think it needs a spacer. Definitely, definitely. And now, for some reason, it actually is barely lined up. Excellent! Excellent. So this little spacer does reach better. Let me get my 12. So definitely have to loosen up the handlebar mount, even though it's on a little curve. And I guess there's a little cross brace that goes here that I've seen on some of these bikes, except on mine. Oh, that's in the wrong spot, isn't it? We need to be down like that. Anybody want a job as a cameraman? Not too sure what the actual where it should be, but I think that'll work. Okay, so that's one half, and we'll go over to this side next. Get my X-Acto knife. I'm going to get this done so I can go watch the next episode of Dakar. Alright, let's try that. So I've got a little exposure. I got a couple little extra rubber pieces up there. I can trim that. What's wrong with you? He says, I'm bored. No one's taking me for a walk. That's because it's really, really cold, Deacon. It's going to be pretty exciting. I haven't ridden a two-stroke since 1977. That was a PE 250. Okay, so what we did before, remember we got the little expansion collet here. Oh, okay. So notice here, this collet is too big for the hole. That's because the throttle body itself has a plastic lip that goes down, so we have to cut that out. Surprise! This time now we're actually going to go through I didn't do this last time. I just think I used a really good strong pocket knife. There we go. Okay, so see, I'm just cutting like this little disc, this washer out of there. I think it's better if you're right there. Safer for me. There we go. There we go. So now that that's off, I guess I have to take any burrs off that plastic. We need to get the end of the handlebar showing up. So what's going to involve on that is we'll just loosen the everything and move it down. So let me start with the kill button, or the starter button. Loosen him up just a little bit. Oh, I might be able to do it just simply with getting this guy down. Leave the brake lever where it was at. That way. Go that way. Because we don't need much. You don't need like a... See, now we need a 8mm, and we still have one that we pulled out earlier. Notice I've got a... Well, it comes with a Phillips head screwdriver, so that's probably not a big deal. Okay. Loosen this guy. Loosen this guy. Push it down. Okay, see now the throttle is sticking out. Give yourself maybe about that much. And here's what I don't like about the KTM tools. They always pop off here. Kind of like a little rubber thing around there. It's still kind of cool. It's got this rubber shroud. Alright, see how I've got that gap there? Excellent. Now we can slide this in here. Yeah. Oh, 6mm. Here's our bolt, here's our spacer. Uh, 12mm wrench. Where'd you go? It's on the ground, like most of my stuff. Goes another one. Now, just kind of peeking in here, there's supposed to be a high and a low beam light, and my 500's the same way, but when you turn it on, only the main light turns on, not the high beam. That doesn't make any sense. But if you add a switch to it, I guess you get both lamps. So it'd be the same headlight shroud as what's on the EXC, 500 EXC. Need to loosen the clamp. There we go. Everything's kind of springy right now. He's growling. Alright, that's snug. They're not quite lined up together. I could raise one up or push the other one down. Let's try that. That one looks pretty good. Can't have too much orange, I guess. Of course, we're talking a red, white, and blue motorcycle now. Slovenia. Tighten this guy down. It's looking pretty good. I think our hard part's almost over now. Now it's just a matter of tightening these puppies. See, we got the little bit bigger gap down there. When you tighten one of these screws, because they're parallel, the other one wants to loosen up, so you're going to kind of work your way down to where they'll both be tight. There you go. Well then, so the cables seem to be, the brake going around there, doesn't look like there's any stress on it. Put some tie wraps on it later. So, now we're ready to do the, oh dear, your hand grips, throttle may need modification. Insert in a handlebar position alloy guard so it corresponds with a blade 25 bolt through the guard. Guards are causing interference. These guys have their own set of screws. There's 6 screws in for these. Okay, let's put the guards on. I don't know if I want to block the abrasion guards are going to block all my orange. Why would I do that? That's no fun. Alright, there we go. Yeah, let's go. Put you here. That should do it, right? And this is Phillips head screwdrivers. I think we can deal with that. I'm not going to bother taking out the Phillips in the kit. That keeps just falling off that little handle. And I'm going to mount these. I'm going to put these screws right here. That really cool reinforcement thing that the KTM engineer came up with. One there. Really? I think these are trilobular screws, which means the holes aren't threaded, and you're going to be cutting the threads. Yep. See, it's got a thread cutting screw. That saves on some manufacturing costs for somebody. Let's get these things started. I want to go watch the car. My feet are freezing. So if you got a strong grip, this really isn't a big deal. Once you cut them, you could just run a tap through it, but and I have a power drill motor that'll make slight work of it. In fact, I see it over there. Everything in the world is falling off the bike. Okay, gang. And I was using my impact driver to put the screws in because they didn't tap them out. See, when you put the screws in, it'll actually cut a thread like that. But in so doing, I snapped the head off one of the screws. So I'm going to get that out. Okay. So attach these abrasion guards on here using these self-tapping screws, thread forming. They're very difficult. Put some WD-40 on it. When you do the handguards, they use those too, but I stripped one out and had to drill it out, and I used this little Torx thread former. It's a 1032 to replace the one I broke the head off. So I don't know, my feet are cold. I've turned the heat off. You can see I've mucked up in here. I had to drill it up from the back side. So if you could, I mean, I don't know what that thread is. I can do some research on it and find that out. But I'd almost suggest tapping it out with either an M5 or but see, it's a coarse thread. So I'm a little perturbed at this thing because when they hard anodize these guards, that makes it even harder to go in. And here's a little screw head I broke off. So my brand new bike has a defect. Just reminds me I'm not perfect, but if you like this look, it looks pretty strong. I think I would trust those in my hands over these guys, which are just kind of plastic hanging out there. Wouldn't you think so? And they are KTM. It says KTM Powerparts on it. So we're gonna call this part of the project done for tonight, and then tomorrow I'll show you how we put on the skid plate. Thanks for watching so far.